Every year, this question comes up in the summer. Can sleeveless tops really work in professional settings? Today, we're examining what makes sleeveless appropriate for business casual environments, considering workplace contexts, Myers-Briggs, judging functions, and how your unique style DNA influences your choices. You've tried to find yourself in all the style systems, but something still doesn't feel aligned. I'm Rebecca Mielke. As a personality profiler and style strategist, I take you on a journey of self-discovery so you can create a signature style that really feels like you. As your first step to self-discovery, I invite you to download the new free Body Design Basics Guide. Find the link in the show description or at my website, signaturestylesystems.com. So when you're deciding if sleeveless is appropriate for your workplace, several legitimate considerations should guide your choice. One, if your company has an explicit policy against sleeveless attire, then that's just the way it is. That was definitely the case for me back in the day when I worked for the JCPenney company. We were not allowed to wear sleeveless at all. So also another one that's, just something that you have to go along with or make peace with is if you have personal, cultural, or religious convictions that are guiding more modest dress, then that's great. That's fine. Don't feel like you need to wear sleeveless. Sometimes there will be a formality of a specific workplace or role that you might feel requires more coverage, and I would leave that up to you. And then there's practical matters like, sometimes the air conditioning is just way too cold. I have most of the time when I go to the grocery store in the summer, I will put a cardigan or some kind of a lightweight, like a jean jacket or something. I can't usually fit a jean jacket in my purse. With a cardigan, I would put it in my purse. With a jean jacket or whatever, I would just take it with me. But I usually, if I'm going to go to the grocery store, I almost always take a jacket with me because um, it's good. They keep our food cold. It lasts longer, but it's cold in there. So those are the kind of the reasons that I thought of that are really valid for, um, you know, just not necessarily considering wearing sleeveless. But what concerns me is how many women just limit themselves based on, I think, arbitrary rules that don't really have anything to do with professionalism. And also on the flip side, uh, let me tell you, I think that it's always right to wear sleeveless to the beach or the park or the pool, unless it's a religious conviction or something like that. Um, so for leisure, I think sleeveless should be okay for everybody. So maybe you've heard some of these arbitrary rules about sleeveless. Women over insert in the blank, whatever age, shouldn't show their arms. If your arms aren't toned like Michelle Obama's, keep them covered. Only certain body types can pull off sleeveless tops, or sleeveless is never truly professional, regardless of the style. And those rules are just somebody's opinion. They're not based on workplace effectiveness. They're not based on professionalism. They're based on outdated beauty standards and subjective opinions. So let me share a personal experience that happened a couple summers ago. I was meeting with some female principals at a local firm about bringing my workshop, Style DNA and business casual and your style DNA. Sorry, got that wrong in the wrong order. So I was bringing the workshop to their office, or we were talking about it. And the forecast for that day, my appointment was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The forecast called for 101 degrees. and I am a style professional. What was I going to wear? So I ended up wearing a navy poplin sleeve, like cotton that's like sheet material, sleeveless shirt dress with a collar, and but it had like the tiniest hint of a cap sleeve. So it was sleeveless, but it didn't cut back on the sleeve. It came over the shoulder a little teeny tiny bit. Um, but it was navy, it was a button front with a collar, and it was the skirt is fullish, and so it felt breezy and professional at the same time. And so I was perfectly comfortable showing up for the meeting like that. And apparently they were too, because they booked me to do the workshop. So have you ever noticed how differently different people approach decisions? Understanding the introverted judging functions, which are introverted thinking, which is shorthand capital T with a small I, and introverted feeling, shorthand capital F, lowercase I. The understanding those functions can help explain all kinds of decisions, including why the sleeveless question creates such uncertainty. So everyone, regardless of what your four letters are in your Myers-Briggs type, is using either one or the other of those functions to make judgments according to personal criteria. So these functions operate differently, but they both influence how we would evaluate style choices. And understanding your own process can help you make more authentic decisions. So I'm going to explain introverted thinking first. This is the one that I use. It's a fairly uncertain process in my own personality, so I'm not as connected to my own opinions as some other types are. But like I said, everyone uses one or the other. So, introverted thinking creates an internal framework of principles and logical consistency. And it's used by everyone in the Myers-Briggs system whose type includes the letter P and or TP. So if the last two letters are TP, or if the last two letters are FJ. So those types in the Myers-Briggs system might ask, if they're thinking about wearing sleeveless to work, what's the logical purpose behind covering arms in an office? Does this rule make sense given the temperature and the context? Which is that you can see is what I was thinking when I was getting ready to go to this business. I'm like, I felt like it's 100 degrees. It doesn't make sense to have more clothes than what's necessary. And then, is there an objective reason why this would be unprofessional? TI users, introverted thinking users, tend to question arbitrary rules and they seek consistency. So, consistency in dress code rules. So introverted feeling, on the other hand, evaluates based on personal values and authentic self-expression. So like introverted thinking is distancing themselves from the decision and making it consistent. Introverted feeling is inserting themselves into the decision and making it authentic. So they're both good. Can you see that they're both positives, uh, just different? So introverted feeling is used by everyone whose four-letter code ends in FP or TJ in the Myers-Briggs system. So when considering sleeveless, A introverted feeling user might ask, does this feel aligned with how I want to present myself? Will I feel comfortable and authentic in this choice? Does this honor my personal values around self-expression? And how important is it to me personally to follow or challenge these norms? So they're focusing on internal alignment rather than external standards. So for people with either of these functions lower in their stack, like EJ types, like myself, these internal criteria are less conscious, and it makes it easier for us to adopt external rules without questioning them. So understanding your own judging function helps you recognize when you're following arbitrary rules versus when you're making authentic style choices for yourself that are aligned with your style DNA. So real quick, I'm going to go through some ways to make sleeveless work for your body design. So the most flattering sleeveless styles depend on your unique body design, particularly how your shoulders relate to your face and your overall silhouette. So if your shoulders are narrow relative to your face, then thinner straps work well. Off the shoulder styles work well, and hair worn down is often lovely. For wider shoulders relative to your face, if your shoulders look wide compared to your face, wider straps work well. You can use cut-in armholes. Substantial shoulder coverage also works well. And then hair length can help create overall proportion. If your shoulders are different widths, like mine are, asymmetrical designs can help to harmonize that. Also, diagonal elements like V shapes or details that draw the eye. And then your overall silhouette matters too. Triangle shapes benefit from angled shoulder lines. Rectangle silhouettes work with straight lines. And then curved silhouettes harmonize with rounded details. When you're styling sleeveless for business contexts, consider structure. That can sometimes matter more than coverage. Like a collared sleeveless top is more professional than just a basic tank. And then proper fit is really essential. You don't want to have gaping armholes so that people can see your undergarments. And yeah, and I almost always will choose a colored bra so that if like something happens uh and it shows, it looks intentional. And then you can also like keep a layer with you just in case it might get cold or you're uncertain if you're going to feel like you need more coverage. So today's episode was designed to answer the question, are sleeveless tops business casual? The reason that I wanted to do this is because it's the thing that brings one of the questions that brings the most people to my website, actually. So the key is understanding legitimate workplace considerations and then rejecting outdated beauty standards. Then make thoughtful choices that align with your unique style DNA. Most importantly, don't let somebody else's opinion prevent you from making practical choices that work for you. So here's something simple you can do this week to integrate these principles into your life and wardrobe. Just spend some time journaling about your introverted judging function. So if you're Myers-Briggs type, the 4 letters end in FP or TJ, ask yourself, What kind of person do I want to be? Then, if your type ends in TP or FJ, ask yourself, what do I truly believe? Thank you so much for being here for Signature Style Systems. Have fun being you, and I will meet you back here again real soon.